What are the pros and cons of living in Oakville, Ontario? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be discussing in today's video. Hey guys, so welcome back. Now, typically on this channel here, we discuss everything about what it's like living in Burlington, Ontario. But what I noticed when chatting with all my clients looking to move to Burlington is that they're also interested in Oakville, Ontario. So in today's video, I thought I would give you my top 5 pros as well as my top 5 cons of living in Oakville, Ontario. So let's not waste any more of your time and jump on in to the cons. And my very first con about living in Oakville, Ontario definitely has to be the home affordability, as Oakville is not an affordable city to live in when it comes to real estate, as overall Oakville is the most expensive market to purchase a home based on the average sale price. Now, as you can see on this graph here, it really is miles ahead of the next one, which is the York region and Vancouver in third place. What I have to say is, while Oakville definitely has very expensive real estate, one of the things skewing up this average real estate price is due to the lack of condominiums you'll find in Oakville, Ontario, as there's really no high rises in Oakville. So therefore, the majority of homes sold in Oakville either are townhomes, detached homes, or semi-detached, as Oakville's condominium market is about half to 1/3 the size of what Burlington offers, but nonetheless still one of the most expensive spots to buy real estate in Canada. And it doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down anytime soon, as if we can see on this graph here, the average price point in Oakville in 2021 rose 21%, and it's expected to rise by 7.5% in 2022. So if you're looking to move to Oakville, Ontario, be prepared to pay these real estate premiums. Then my second con about Oakville, Ontario definitely has to be how car dependent it is. And this is very similar to Burlington, as the public transit is nothing like a major city like Toronto. As overall, if you have 2 people working in 2 different locations, you're most likely going to need 2 cars. At the very least, you're going to need 1 car, as no matter where you live in Oakville, while yes, you might be able to get away with no cars if you're right beside the GO train station in a plaza. However, for 95% of Oakville residents, you're going to be required at least 1 car. And that's just to do your basic errands like go get groceries or go get a bite to eat. And this is also reflected in Oakville's overall work score of 42, showing that Oakville truly is a car-dependent city. And then when you are driving around Oakville, I think one of the knocks, at least when you initially move to Oakville and you're not familiar with the streets, it is slightly harder to navigate around, as Burlington is set up in a very grid system, where Oakville does try to set up in a grid system. However, due to the ravine and crevices throughout Oakville City, it does make the roads a little bit more difficult to understand and truly grasp. But once you get a hang of it, Oakville's not too bad to drive around. And then one final thing I wanted to mention about the car dependability is, because a lot of Oakville residents do commute, you will notice a lot of congestion around 9th line, where the QEW and the 400 series merge, and that's where you can see a lot of congestion in the morning as well as in the evening during those rush hour times. And then the third con I find about living in Oakville is the lack of entertainment and festivals going on in the city in particular, especially when you compare it to its neighboring cities of Mississauga, Toronto, or even Burlington for that matter, where majority of festivals happening, at least the bigger ones, are going to be taking place in neighboring cities, causing you to commute and find parking elsewhere. And then one thing to note is, maybe you're not interested in going to a big festival, just want a nice date night out and go see a local show. Well, that's definitely doable in Oakville for sure. It is going to be a little bit more expensive, very close and very similar, I find, to the Toronto restaurant prices, with everything being marked up a bit if you're looking for fine dining. And now that's not to say you're not going to find a fantastic meal, it's just going to be a bit more expensive. And then also another con about Oakville, when you do compare it to its neighboring cities, is the lack of shopping, as not only does Mississauga have Square One and a wide variety of different malls, but Burlington as well has Burlington Mall and Mapleview Mall. Now, overall, Oakville does have Oakville Place, but it's really not the best mall. I know a lot of people from Oakville come to Mapleview to shop, because Oakville Mall, while it is going through some updating and renovation and getting in some fresh stores, it still doesn't offer the shopping that Burlington or Mississauga has to offer. Now, one thing to mention about Oakville shopping is that in the downtown core, while Oakville has a very small town feel compared to the actual size of its city, it does offer a lot of great luxury and premium brands shopping downtown Oakville. And then the fifth con about living in Oakville is the Suncor refinery. Now, this isn't going to overall affect your day-to-day life in Oakville, but I definitely know some people that do not want to live around the Rebecca Street and Bronte where the Suncor refinery is, as it's just a turnoff for them. Now, thankfully, in 2005, it was decommissioned as a refinery and it's now just used as a storage facility, but still, I know it definitely deters people away from this area here where it stores over 90,000 barrels of oil. So those were the top 5 cons when looking to move to Oakville. Now, one bonus one I did want to mention here, as it really didn't fit into one, but it's something you should know, is that there's a lot more wet ditches in Oakville. And what a wet ditch is it's this little valley on the edge of homeowners' lots or on their beginning of their lot where rainwater can run off into and channel it in a specific way. Now, this was great when Oakville was putting it into practice, as they thought it would be a more natural way to allow rainwater to be absorbed back into the soil and channel it naturally. However, it does come with some unwanted circumstances. And the very first one is it's just harder to maintain as the homeowner. Rather than just having a smooth, flat grass, you're gonna have this little valley that you're gonna have to maintain and cut grass with, which definitely can be a pain in the butt, but not also that, because it does channel water and that's where water is directed towards. It's going to be a lot more damp, making it harder to maintain because it's just damp. But 2, it's going to cause a lot of unwanted insects at times, especially during those rainier seasons where maybe not all the water can be absorbed or rushed away. So those were my cons of living in Oakville, Ontario. Let's discuss some of the pros and why Oakville is such a great spot to live. And the very first one definitely has to be the school system Oakville offers, as all of Oakville's schools routinely rank above the provincial averages for the academics. Now, the easiest way to compare is through the academics and using the Fraser Institute's ranking that takes the provincial standardized testings and puts them on a 10-point scale. Now, what's great about Oakville is Oakville actually has a few elementary schools and high schools that are ranked or tied for number 1 overall, getting a score of 10 out of 10, giving it a great community to raise a family with strong education. And then also, not to mention, you have Sheridan College on Trafalgar offering a wide variety of different post-secondary options. And then the second pro that makes Oakville a great city to live in is its safety it offers its residents, as in 2021 by University Magazine, Oakville was ranked the 4th safest city in all of Canada. And that's also backed up by Nubio, which takes the public perception where Oakville residents could go and rate how safe they feel in Oakville. And as you can see, all Oakville residents feel very safe, both with the level of crime, worrying of being attacked, and just overall walking at night or in the day alone. So no matter where you live in Oakville, you can be rest assured there's no bad spots and you're gonna feel safe living there. Then the next pro that people love about Oakville and its neighboring cities for that matter is the great green spaces and parks it offers. As because of Oakville's geography, it offers a wide variety of different ravines, giving it great hiking trails throughout the city, with Lions Valley Park, which is a hidden gem where you can hike along 16 Mile Creek. You also have Bronte Creek Provincial Park, which is a massive provincial park offering a wide variety of different activities, from disc golf to an outdoor swimming pool to a lot of hiking trails and mountain biking trails in between Oakville and Burlington. And then also you have Gerlach Gardens, which is a great spot to enjoy a nice sunny day and relax, or go walk through some beautiful gardens right beside Lake Ontario. Or if you're like me and you really can't sit still and you need some fun activities to do, then you can visit Coronation Park, which is probably Oakville's most iconic park, offering a wide variety of different activities to do, like beach volleyball courts, 7 different biking trails, a rock beach, a dog park, and much, much more. Then also you can go to Bronte Harbor if you enjoy sailing out on the water, as Oakville definitely has the best harbor out of all of its neighboring cities. And the final thing I wanted to mention in all the greens and park spaces it offers is it has some great, awesome golf courses. And I know this is one of my favorite pastimes to do, as well as my clients. And Oakville is great for this, as not only do you have Glen Abbey Golf Course, which is a PGA Tour golf course designed by the one and only Jack Nicklaus, the only person to have more majors than Tiger Woods. So you definitely know it's going to be a good one. But it also hosts the PGA RBC's Canadian Open. So if you're interested in going to check out golf events, this is definitely a fun one to do. But what's great about this course here, it's not a private course. So the public can actually go pay to play. Now it definitely is a premium penny to play this. So for me, it's a special occasion course. And if you're looking for more courses to enjoy on a weekly basis, you can go visit Rattlesnake or Oakville Executive, are two great courses also just in rural Oakville. And then other than the green spaces and parks, the next pro Oakville offers is the ease of access to Toronto and Pearson Airport. So if you enjoy that downtown lifestyle of just going to Toronto once in a while, or maybe you commute to Toronto, Oakville is definitely a great spot to live, as not only do you have the GO train station in Oakville GO, which is actually the second most used GO train station in all of Ontario other than Union Station. So it's an easy, quick commute to Union Station, but you also get easy access to Toronto Pearson Airport for any of your flying needs. Or if you don't want to commute by a GO train, Oakville offers easy access to the highway in the QEW and the 400 series through any one of its highway entrances. And then the final pro about living in Oakville definitely has to be the healthcare facilities it offers, as not only does it have a brand spanking new hospital just on 3rd line in Dundas in Trafalgar Memorial Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care, but you also have a wide variety of smaller clinics located throughout its city. So those are the top 5 major pros you're gonna find when living in Oakville, Ontario. Now there's a couple other ones I wanted to mention that didn't fit into a category, and the very first one is Oakville is going to have a lot more newer builds, especially when it comes to North Oakville, as South Oakville was developed a while ago. So there's going to be a lot of older homes, or there's going to be a lot of teardowns and rebuilds. So you definitely can find some newer homes in South Burlington. However, the newer neighborhoods as a collective are typically in North Burlington, with them continuing being developed today. Then the next pro I wanted to mention is that small town feel that Oakville has. As like I mentioned, Oakville does not have many high rises or condominium options, and that's by intent, as Oakville is called the town of Oakville, and they've really tried to live up to the town of Oakville name, giving it that small town feel with no massive high rises. And I know this is definitely a plus for people that don't want to live in a major city, or want to live in a major city without that feel of a major city, if you know what I mean. So those were the pros and cons of living in Oakville, Ontario. And if you're interested in learning more about what the differences of living in Burlington versus Oakville are, my next video I recommend you go check out is my video comparing and contrasting Burlington versus Oakville. And if you're interested in moving to the area, feel free to send me a message. I'm always happy to help you out. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a great day.